Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hard4Games channel. I'm your host, Tony, and I don't know if you've noticed or not, but for the last couple of months, the audio on the channel has sounded a little bit different. So I come from a film background, so I worked in the indie film industry when I got out of college for a number of years before I switched careers multiple times. And the equipment that I had was basically a shotgun mic and a boom, right? So at least in the indie scene back then, we have our boom guy with the shotgun mic pointing towards the actors. So I always had, with Hard4Games, basically over miking. And it sounds a little bit different than the rest of YouTube because most podcasters, most streamers utilize something like this, where you are under miking. Generally, it sounds a little bit more personal. It sounds a little bit more rich. It's a little more breathy. So I had to learn to be a little bit more careful, or even in editing, sort of cut out my breaths. So, the overhead miking was always a little bit of a hassle for me because I had to kind of keep it out of shot but nearby because I didn't think most people would understand what it was, whereas again most people on YouTube are kind of used to like a mic poking up from out of shot versus down into shot, right? And it was kind of this big thing and an extra stand that I had to set up, etc., etc. It was kind of a mess, and I was looking for a new microphone, which is why I accepted this thing. It is the FIFINE USB microphone, the K690 model. So full disclosure, I did get this thing for free. In return, I am reviewing it, but hopefully it helps someone out there who may be looking for a new microphone decide if this is the right one for them. And frankly, it has made my life a lot easier, so I'm happy to do a review. Don't worry, Zelda stuff will still be coming soon, and prototypes and all that stuff that you guys normally eat up, but it's time to talk about a microphone now. So if you are wondering if this is the right microphone for you, I'm going to go ahead and get into it, fully understanding, of course, that, you would be comparing this to something like a Blue Yeti, which is kind of the gold standard for most, streamers and podcasts and such, versus like what I did, which was like a shotgun, like Asden boom mic kind of thing, because no one does that. And I bring up Blue Yeti because, per the shots of this thing that I've been showing off, it is basically heavily influenced by the Blue Yeti, emulating the Blue Yeti, copying the Blue Yeti, more or less. It's placed itself in a position where it basically wants to be a direct competitor with that. Direct competitor with the Blue standard, so to speak. So here's the mic itself. It is very easy to set up. Basically, it has a mini USB that you plug into the bottom. You plug it right into your PC or Mac. My PC, I was using Windows 10. No issues recognizing it. I was able to record audio in OBS, in Premiere Pro. No compatibility, no driver issues, nothing. Just super simple. It's very plug and play. But I was a bit concerned about hooking it up into my camera because my camera doesn't have a USB input because I utilize like an old, Canon T3i Rebel thing that I need to replace at some point. But I realized the headphone out jack on the bottom, the audio out, could function as an audio in for my Canon, and the audio sounds just fine, and that is what you're hearing now. In fact, if you want to know what this mic sounds like when it's being utilized, I'm utilizing this whole episode as an audio test. So when hooking up to your camera via the, headphone cable, the mini jack, 3.5 millimeter, I think, something like that. Gives you multiple levels of control in terms of the audio because you can adjust in camera, you can adjust the mic sensitivity, and you can also adjust the headphone volume. So basically, you can play and tinker with it until it gives you something that you like. So on the front of the mic, there is a mute, unmute button, very convenient for streaming, especially when your kids wander in and talk about how they need to poop or something like that, which has happened before, as well as the aforementioned headphone audio dial. On the back, there's the mic audio dial and a pattern switcher. So from left to right, we have stereo, omnidirectional, i.e. every direction equally. cardioid and bidirectional. I think the bidirectional would be great if you were like at a table across from someone doing an interview, because it captures like kind of both sides equally. But most people, including myself, are likely going to be utilizing the cardioid, which focuses on what's in front of it, because I don't want you to hear my kids running around or people talking or the neighbors. I just want to focus on, from the microphone forward, i.e. my voice. Otherwise, this thing has a sturdy stand and design. You kind of have to work to knock this thing over, and it's pretty easy to get into a position that works for you. Now, I mentioned I got this thing in place of my shotgun microphone, so, it's the only one I'm using right now. I can't really compare it, directly myself to like a Blue Yeti or something like that. But in preparation of this, I watched a number of YouTubers that did, and frankly, the audio is very, very comparable. What differs is the price point. This is $89 versus a Blue Yeti or something in that range. It's like $120 to $130 approximately. So functionally, if you're looking for a new microphone for YouTube videos, podcasts, streaming, whatever, and you don't have one yet, this is a great option. It's a decent amount cheaper and it's very good quality. If you have a Blue Yeti or something already like this, there's realistically no reason to replace that with this. There's no reason to purchase this if that's the case. If you're gonna get a second microphone or something for a guest or whatever, this could be a good option. But basically it just kind of depends on your current setup and, if you're looking to upgrade or if you're kind of looking to get into the game with a new microphone, because if you're the latter, trying to get into it, this is a really good option. So thank you everybody for watching, really appreciate it. Accepting these sort of offers for microphones, monitors, equipment, it really helps us run the show and be able to present the best possible quality content from a technical standpoint to all of you, when it comes to our normal type of content, which is like tech, prototypes, video game betas, that sort of stuff. And if you found this review and watched it because you were genuinely interested in what this microphone is all about, awesome. I hope that it helped. And if you have any specific questions, feel free to leave a comment below and let me know. Aside from that, thank you all again for watching, and we'll see you next time.